Hey everybody, it's Chris. In today's video, we're going to talk about Garmin's intensity minutes metric, and we're going to talk about using that as a tool to monitor the consistency in your training. So for those of you who are not new to my website and have downloaded my free guide, you'll know that there are three aspects to a productive training program. That's consistency in your training, variety in the types of workouts that you do, and quality recovery. So what I'm going to talk about today is using this metric as a way to evaluate whether or not you've been consistent in your training. And the reason that we're going to look at this particular tool is this will be relevant for people that perhaps are doing more than just running. So if you're somebody who does some cycling in addition to your running, or perhaps swimming, or perhaps you have a job that's physically demanding, that means that there's more contributing to your fitness than just the running that you do. And assuming that you wear your watch all the time, Garmin will capture that and can calculate that and quantify that in terms of how those other activities are contributing to your fitness. And that can be viewed via the intensity minutes metric. So we're going to look at that today on the Garmin Connect website. You can also access this report via the mobile app, and your current intensity minutes can be displayed on your watch. I'm not going to get into how to do all that today. If you do have questions, you can always feel free to reach out. So within the Connect website, to access this data, you want to go to over here, activities, in the menu on the left, hit this drop down and select intensity minutes. So what are intensity minutes? From this page, if you want to see how Garmin calculates this number, in the upper right hand corner right here is this question mark. If you click that and then go to this drop down, it'll give you the mathematical equation that Garmin uses to calculate your intensity minutes. In very simple terms, intensity minutes are the amount of time that you've spent with your heart rate elevated to the point that it's going to contribute to your fitness. I don't worry too much about how Garmin's calculating that. I just take it as a number that represents volume of, cardiovascular training. And regardless of what caused that, elevated heart rate, whether it was walking, running, cycling, work, what have you, this is just the amount of time in a day or week that my heart rate was elevated enough to contribute to my fitness level. So in terms of using this metric to track your consistency, I would recommend using the 4-week view here. And again, you can do the same thing on the mobile app. And what that's going to pull up this graph. And what we're looking at here is each section divided by the vertical line represents the previous week. So here's our current week here, all the way over on the right. And here's the week before that, the week before that, and the week before that. If we hover over the divider line, like if I can do that, my hand keeps getting stuck. Okay, so in the previous week, in this particular example, 450 intensity minutes. In the week before that, 274 intensity minutes. In the week before that, 652. So already in this particular example, we can see that there hasn't been a consistent training load for this particular person. Again, what we would want to see is, maybe start with the average here somewhere around 400 and shoot for that as the goal on a weekly basis, and maybe see that number go up a little bit from one week to the next. And that is, again, regardless of whether this this number was achieved via just running or a combination of other sports. One thing I would suggest is if you want to start making use of this metric to track your consistency, Garmin does by default, when you get a new watch, calculate a goal. I think it's around 375 or something like that. You have the option of updating that goal up here in the upper right hand corner. You can edit the goal. And so maybe what you might want to do is increase that a little bit. Look at what your average has been over the past 4 to 8 weeks. Start there and maybe add 10 or 15 points every week. And that is a metric that can be displayed right on your watch. Feel free to reach out to me if you need help setting that up. But that gives you something to shoot for that's a little bit more than the previous week. And that might be helpful to increasing your training load from week to week. And that will help you, have an effective and productive training program, and one element that'll help get you out of unproductive status if that's current frustration that you've got. So again, it's a pretty simple concept. Let me know if you have any questions about any of this, and if so, shoot me an email or feel free to even set up an exploratory call. I'm happy to talk through any of these different strategies for monitoring your training. And if you're finding it a challenge to be consistent, we can talk through strategies for mitigating that. Thanks, and we'll talk to you soon.